Welcome to another test at Nords, and today we're back to the original Assetto Corsa and the McLaren F1 GTR. So this is a late 90s GT car, race car, no TC, no ABS as standard, full manual box, and I've put some soft slicks on it because I think that this car deserves that. A very responsive 6 litre BMW V12. So I'm just getting back into AC again after trying some different sims. They all handle differently, so it's taking me a bit of acclimatization. I'm going to try and keep it on the track. Here we go. It's quick. It sounds great. Cold tyres, cold brakes. I think there are steel brakes on this car, if I remember correctly. Very easily initially. Fireworks are because it's New Year's Day. Just tipping it in there gently. It does have a tendency to understeer, certainly on cold tyres, which is going a little bit too fast. On the brakes, causing it to break away a little bit at the back now. I want to try and avoid pushing it too much like that, kind of provoking it till these tyres are warm. It's quite twitchy, but it's short wheelbase, very grippy. There's a bit of aero on this as well, I think. Very quick in a straight line. Doing over 150 already, miles per hour. 180. Turn Using a slightly unusual line there. Broke into a little bit of a slide there under the brakes, which is quite nice. I think the tyres are warming up a little bit now. There's the compression. There's the curb. Slid through the curb a little bit nicely enough. Okay, slowing it right down. I'm taking some tighter lines at the moment because I'm a little bit concerned about the understeer. I think as we get further on, I can get back to some more conventional lines. Ran wide there. So that was interesting. I went in with a little bit too much brakes, and it was yeah, really keen to turn in, wasn't it? Just the apex. So this car is making me very cautious. I think with practice, you can be really quick with it, but you need to be careful. It's going to punish mistakes and so on. It's not really a criticism. It is a race car after all. Bad exiting. There it's taking quite a bit of power. Making quite a lot earlier than I would normally. Okay, so it's power oversteering quite a bit on exit still. What I don't want to do is overheat those rears. That would be bad in the last third of this track. Overheated rears. Mute curve is not going to be flat. Fourth. Yep, that was fine. And I had a lot of throttle in there and it was okay. Just braking next to the carousel now. Sliding the exit again. Fourth there by accident. Get used to this position of the gearbox soon, hopefully. Just tapping the brakes to make sure it turns in now. Haven't driven it enough to get enough confidence yet. Oh, that was interesting. Yeah, this is a bitey car. If you do something it doesn't like, going in on the brakes, occasionally something it doesn't like, I'm pushing a little bit on it. So, I haven't really talked too much to them. I'm trying to stay on top of this car. Okay. I'm still tiptoeing at times, even though I'm trying to push it some of the time as well. It's an endurance car, this must have been an absolute handful. Unless this is the... Oops, what's that apex? Unless this is the setup issue. But again, maybe when you're used to it, this is fine. You know what to avoid doing. Wow, okay, so it's been quite a high effort lap, this one. Stay in third for this. We'll talk a bit more about handling in the summary. And it's doing there again. Gotcha. 155 under there. Okay. That was fairly challenging. There's a lot of speed left in this car. Let's do something. Well, that was quite a lap in this car. It's certainly very demanding, but I really enjoyed it. This was a challenge, but it's not an insurmountable challenge. So I should probably start talking about the brakes, just to correct something I said right at the beginning of the lap. This car doesn't have steel brakes. It started out with carbon brakes, and this model would have had carbon brakes. Then in 1997, when the long truck came out, it moved to ceramics. So that probably explains why the brakes went fantastic from cold, as I think the carbon brakes sometimes require a bit of warming up first. But anyway, they were working fine towards probably the end of the first third of the lap. No complaints there. The engine is incredible. It pulls so well, 600 brake horsepower. Car only weighs a ton, so it makes the power to weight ratio easy to calculate. And the gearbox as well, everything was really well spaced. I didn't find myself having to swap between gears or finding myself in the wrong gear. Apart from just before the carousel, that was my fault. What about the aero? So the aero, I think the kit on this car is probably doing a little bit. I suspect it's fairly low downforce because this car would have been running at Le Mans. I don't know what the standard setup is. As I was running it, I just took the defaults as I usually do, other than the soft slicks. But in the medium and high speed corners it was nice and stable. Perhaps mute curve could have gone through in a higher gear probably, but I'm still getting to know the car. And it's the handling, I think, that's the most interesting thing about the GTR. It seems to be happy at about 8/10 and below. You could drive this car all day every day at about 8/10 and it would be fine, and that's what you want from an endurance car. But when you start really pushing it and perhaps making a few errors, it starts to become a little bit trickier to drive, and it will punish mistakes. So I found myself, when I was going into a corner a little bit too fast and trailing in deeper than I would normally, it would break away at the back, that sort of thing. Now normally you think, okay, I can just move the brake bias forward a little bit, but then obviously that's going to affect your trail braking and affect the car in other corners, and it's going to require a bit of testing, I think, probably, and driver preference as well. Or just don't make errors is the other solution. In fact, it was something I read about these cars, these GT1 cars. They were very demanding, and they did punish mistakes. So it seems like this GTR is very much in that vein. It's very, very fast, but don't make mistakes. You need to be precise, and you need to understand what the car likes and dislikes, and once you've got that, you're fine. I wouldn't use like a journalistic flick to get this car to turn in. I think that would be a very bad idea. I was careful on corner exit with the power. Again, I think it would be a bad idea. It's short wheelbase, it's on slicks, mid-engine. It's gonna let go pretty quickly, so I didn't provoke it too much. I think the lap time bridge to gantry was 6:37. There's plenty left in this car, and it would be a lot of fun trying to find that time. So I will definitely be doing some more laps in this and testing some of the other contemporary cars. Recommended.